Hello and welcome to Jones Family Hobbies. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can use risk pieces to get into wargaming real quick and cheap and easy. So what I have here is I have some risk pieces and they are based on a 1-inch square base. And this is a great way to get into wargaming because let's say you have great aspirations that you want to put together a big huge wargame. You want to do Antietam, you want to do Gettysburg, you want to do Waterloo. Okay, well, great. If you want to get into all those war games, you're going to have a ton of miniatures. And if you want to get period specific for big battles like that, I highly recommend 6mm up to maybe 15mm. This is going to cost you quite a bit of money to get big armies enough to build these big battles. But you can go this route, which is buying risk pieces. The risk games you can buy at Goodwills, thrift shops, charity shops. I've got 3 risk games up there right now, and I think that the max I paid for one of them was $10. And so all in all, between my 3 risk games, I've got less than $20, and that gets you hundreds of plastic miniatures to use. Going by the 3-foot rule, meaning arm's length, or what you're going to see on the tabletop, you can put together some really nice armies that you or your friends aren't really going to be able to tell exactly what they are. So you can use a generic blue color scheme for Continental soldiers, even if they might look slightly like Napoleonic soldiers, and the same thing with the red and the gray. We take our infantry, we're going to go ahead and glue them onto a popsicle stick, some gray primer, and then I like to base coat them with whatever color it is I'm using. And so for these ones, I'm going to be actually doing a green. And so for the green, I'm going to be using green as the base. I'm going to be coloring the flesh tones next, which is I'm going to be doing the faces and the hands. Next, I'm going to do the pants. These guys are getting white pants, black boots, a black hat, and then the musket is going to be colored brown with a little bit of a dark gunmetal gray for the top of it. For anybody that has a bayonet, we're going to be using just a generic metallic silver color for paint, and I use all very cheap acrylic paints, as you can see behind me. All these acrylic paints behind me, the really cheap ones you can buy at Walmart for like $1 a piece, they are what I use to paint all my miniatures. So if you've seen my Oriskany Battlefield videos, my Punic Wars videos, they're all painted with really cheap acrylics. Next thing you're going to do is grab yourself a 1-inch square base. I like 1-inch square. If you have a different basing for whatever game you're trying to fit the miniatures to, go ahead. If you're playing a game like Little Wars TV, Live Free or Die, 1-inch square bases is going to work really good because you can put together full regiments with that. If you're playing something like Black Powder, again, you can pretty much use whatever basing you want. That game doesn't really have super strict basing as long as both sides are kind of similar. Find yourself a simple rule set, something you really like, and just go for it. Don't be afraid to start off with something cheap that might not be perfect. You're going to see a lot of videos out there of miniatures that are like just beautiful and perfect, and that's what we all aspire to be like. You might not be able to start that way. Don't worry about it. Hopefully I'll be using these miniatures in some upcoming videos. Obviously, as you can see, I've got a whole bunch here that I'm working on. I'm still trying to get them all painted. And hopefully you guys will join me for that. And so if you've liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and please check out my other videos on the channel. They're a lot of fun. So thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next time.